What is up, everybody? We are back. Tyler LaRocca here, favorite 49ers content creator, to discuss, of course, 49ers joint practice yesterday with the Chargers. Christian McCaffrey's injuries. Thursday, some starters are playing, so you got to pray that no one gets injured, and some more stuff. So, Tyler, how you doing, man?
Doing good, dude. Doing good. I saw the Niners are switching their practice facility for Saturday, so we'll have to see how that goes, see how the game goes. You have two injury-prone teams going up against each other, so I'm expecting some firework injuries.
We'll see. I mean, look, I think we get if the Chargers starters play even a little bit, I think we'll get a litmus test of where this defense is at without Nick Bosa, which I personally believe is one of the worst in the league when Nick isn't out there. Now Osa looked really good yesterday, and I was here in LA. Grant was apparently in town here. He had to get to the airport though, so we didn't link up. I was at work. But yeah, I mean, look, when Omarion Hampton trucked Jair Brown, what were your thoughts there?
I mean, I'm just not surprised. Dude, Jair Brown's terrible. I'm never surprised when Jair Brown is in a low light. He's just not good at football. It's time for him to hang it up.
Damn, Maj hopping on. Fact-checking Tyler.
It wasn't? Well, man, they're cooked.
It would have been great if it was a real report because they need to change the practice facility. That's a whole separate conversation. Part of it is they sign old injury-prone players. That's part of it. But, when you could at least attempt to practice elsewhere and see if there's a decrease in injuries, because correlation does not always, isn't always causation, right? Or vice versa. So, but yeah, so Jair Brown, it's a big contract year for him. You don't think he can be any good?
Wait, Mayoko just said they're practicing near Kazar Stadium in San Francisco on Saturday. How's he? Oh, he said it was a wrong report. Never mind. Sorry. Ask again. Sorry, I was trying to look at that.
No,
I thought
you're good. No, you're good. Obviously, I feel like a change in scenery would be important. Chargers also have a substation. Yeah, I mean, well, it's close. So I wanted to ask about Jair Brown. It's a contract year for him. What are your expectations for him this year? Because he will be out of the NFL if he doesn't have a good year this year. No one's going to sign him, right?
I mean, I have a feeling he'll get signed somewhere. Like maybe D'Amico will bring him to the Houston and like sign him as like a depth piece. But I mean, the Niners aren't going to give him an extension. He's terrible. He's horrible.
Well, they don't have money to give him an extension. First off, so
well, they have money. They're just not spending it.
They don't have money because next year they're going to be in cap hell. That's why they're saving the money. We know that. Or if they're good at the deadline, maybe they'll go and get somebody and spend some draft capital and, take on a contract, but it's not going to go into next year. This is why I don't believe, which will be our next combo topic, I don't believe they're going to go and trade for Vita Vea. Alfred Collins has looked like atrocious. I'm trying to be nice. It seems like a nice guy. But, last year he had that one fumble because Kyron Williams is a serial fumbler. And then everyone's been riding his since. But he didn't have a good year last year. I know pressuring isn't his cup of tea. Like, he's a run stopper. But
his run defense was good. But
but come on, a run defender in round 2. I mean, you got to have at least a little bit of a pass rush. And I think he was like bottom 1% in the league in pass rush at the D tackle position last year, even though he's a solid run defender. Didn't look good in the preseason game. What would you give up for Vita Vea? And do you think there's any chance that they do give something up for Vita Vea?
I don't think they're trading for him, and I wouldn't give up anything for him. This team's aging. It's old. There's no point in trading for a player like Vita Vea. None.
Not at all?
No. I would not give anything. They'd have to give me something because he wants a contract, and I don't want to pay another contract to a 30-year-old. I'm done giving contracts to 30-year-olds that are going to get hurt on my football team. They need to just do what they're doing, let their players go down, pick top 10 next year, and do a quick little rebuild and turn it around. This team's not in the position. You only trade for players of that caliber when you think your team can compete or is one player away. They are not a Vita Vea away. They just got Osa. Osa's still there. So, like, they have their D tackle. They need an edge rusher, but again, there's no one on the market to really grab. Like,
So that's my next question. Bosa. So Bosa obviously hasn't been practicing. He dealt with some soreness in that recovered leg. So what are your thoughts there on Nick Bosa and your thoughts on like how he's progressing? Because he is integral to this defense. I mean, we saw how ineffective they were, at least in the joint practice, and I'm sure we'll see it tomorrow. We saw it in the Titans game. I mean, the Titans offense didn't look like all that, but they were able to, on third down, just dominate the 49ers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know, man. Bosa, I've been talking about it on Grand Stream. Without Bosa, this defense is bad. They're just bad. No matter how good Fred is or Dre is, the safeties are horrible, so they'll just throw over them. They have all day to throw. There's no Romello Height, or Romello Height might be starting. Who knows? He might get injured again. Mikel's hurt. Nick's hurt. Like, Raheem Morris is trying to do different things with one-dimensional players that only fit one single scheme. I just, again, and I'm not trying to be negative about it, because I actually think a rebuild would be the best thing for this team. I think if they did very poorly this year, that could be the best thing that happened to this team. I would rather them pick top 5 than finish in the NFC Championship game or a second round exit. Like, this team doesn't really have a chance to compete with the best teams because they won't be able to stay healthy. So just rebuild, man. Just do it for a year. The Rams did it. The Seahawks did it. Just do it.
So would you trade Bosa then? Because he doesn't have any value right now.
No, I mean, I'd let him limp around this year if, depending on our record, like whatever it is come midway through the season, I'd start looking to offload people. I'd start looking to offload people like Christian, like Nick, like not George. George is just a Niner. But maybe Demo. Like, I'd start looking to offload players with big contracts that you just won't need.
But the thing is who's going to take CMC? I mean, he can't run anymore. We get he's an elite pass catcher at the running back position, and he understands schemes. One of the smartest, toughest players to play of our generation, and talented. And he did have burst, but running through the tackles doesn't seem much for him. What are you going to get for Christian McCaffrey? Let's say, assume he has another great year and stays healthy, which I don't think is going to happen because it hasn't happened in 20 years with a guy with that many touches. But let's say he does. Let's say he has another all-pro year. What can you get for a 30, 31-year-old running back that just had
if
two
he has
back all-pros?
Yeah, I mean, if he has an all-pro, you'd probably get like a 3rd pick, maybe 2nd to the right team, but probably 3rd pick in this year's draft, which would be fine. You don't have to pay him, because if he has an all-pro year, he's not going to play unless he gets a contract. Which you'd be stupid to pay a running back that much money.
Let's say Bosa has a very good year. What can you get for him? You know, considering the edge rusher market, he's going to want a new contract after next year if he does have a good year. What could you get for him?
You could probably get a 2nd for Bosa, is my guess. You wouldn't get a 1st.
Why not?
Because he'd have to literally win Defensive Player of the Year to get a 1st for him. With his injury history and him wanting a contract, like, you'd have to. No one's paying higher than a 1st in this specific 2027 draft for an older edge rusher that already has injury issues and wants to get